Hi, this is Mr. Max here. So today I am looking at the junior secondary semi-external examination. This is the paper that the grade 9s are writing at the end of the year. So this was the one for 2019. Okay, so short questions. Remember, you have got 1 hour and 30 minutes to complete this. Also, you do not use a calculator when you are solving this question. Okay, no calculators are allowed, and then you must answer all questions. And this one is very important. Please try to show you're working. Okay, so I suggest before you start any question paper, you have to look at skim and go through it and check how you are going to the methods you're going to use in order for you to solve the questions. Again, you can find these question papers from your teachers. I'm going to put it on my Google Classroom for you to also be able to download it from there. Okay, and then we're going to find ways and means to work through it. Okay, so don't just start off right from the beginning. Always try to see what is it that you need to know, what is it you need to focus on, and this kind of stuff. But I'm going to go ahead and start from the beginning. Okay, right. So first question, remember, no calculator used. They want you to work out 4 plus 1 times 2. So you need to do the brackets first. All right, so this answer is nothing but 10. Okay, so there are many ways you can get to that, but that's not a big problem. You should not have to struggle. The highest common factor of 21 and 35 should be 7. Okay, 7 is a number that goes in 21, and 35 is a number that goes in 35. Right, and then the next part you are supposed to also remember, you do not write in this margin here. Very important, okay, because this is actually where the marking is taking place. Right, the next one here, you're supposed to subtract. Now, again, many ways, it's 1 mark, so you should finish this under a minute. The LCM of 4 and well, and 2 is just going to be 2, so you have basically nothing but 1/4. Okay, 1 mark for that. Then you have a list of numbers, and from this list of numbers, you're supposed to write down a multiple of 3. And if you want to know whether 3, a number, is a multiple of 3, well, to check for divisibility by 3, you simply add the digits. And for example, if I add 2 plus 7, I get 9, and I know that 3 can go into 9, so I therefore know that 27 is a multiple of 3. Okay, a prime number is a number with only 2 factors in it. So 13 is the only one, not 49. 49, 7 times 7 is 49, 1 and 49 itself. All right, so the answer there is 13. The square number, again, I spoke about it, it's 49 because 49 is nothing but 7 times 7. Okay, right. So the next one here, you have a little bit of 2 marks, we mean a little bit of things that must be done. The number of students at the university increased. So from 2,500 to 3,000 in 1 year, so we have to find the percentage increase. So let's actually find that increase. So the increase is nothing but 500. Okay, so this is seen, then you don't have a problem. So the percentage increase would be that actual 500 over the original amount being 2,500. Then you multiply that by 100 over 1. Okay, so eventually, the way I get to 20%, maybe you can play around with, you can realize that, wait a minute, dividing by 100. So this gives you the same as 5 over 25 of 100. Again, another thing that you can do, this 5 over 25 becomes 1 over 5 times 100, which is nothing but 100 divided by 5. That gives me 20%. So this is the correct answer then that I'm looking for. Okay. This should take you about 2 minutes to solve this question. Remember the mark allocation in mathematics here, it's really proportional. Right, the question 6, you're supposed to write to one significant figure. A significant figure is the first non-zero digit. So the first non-zero digit is 1, but your answer won't be 1, so you have to look at the next one as a 7, so it's going to be 0.02. Okay, it's still less than a unit, so you can't go ahead and then just write 2. That is too far from 0.01 something number. Ascending means from small to big. Now, remember, smallest is a number that is furthest away from 0. So negative 3,1 is furthest away, then negative 2.5, and then obviously negative 2.4. So always look at the one closer to 0. Okay, as you get closer to 0, the numbers become bigger and bigger. 1 mark for the correct arrangement, no special case. Okay, right, you should know some of these type of things. 0.25 is what 1/4 is equal to, and therefore you see that it's smaller than. Now 9/4, and the other one is 9/7. So, well, you have many ways you can do that. You have to look at the denominators. So when you look at the denominators here, it's going to be, the denominator is going to be something like 28. Okay, so the LCM is 28. So let me just correct this one. This one has to be multiplied by 4, of course. So if I compare, I have 63 upon 28, and then I have 9 times 4, which is 36 upon 28. So the one that has got the biggest numerator, okay, so obviously you can see 63, that is going to be the bigger one. Okay, so the correct answer here, therefore, we just have to get that in, is that 9/4 is bigger than 9/7. Okay, yeah. The next one here, first remember you must multiply. So when you multiply 3 times 2, you get 6. Take away 6, I get 0, and that's 1. And obviously 0 is less than 1. Okay, always remember your partner so that you don't make unnecessary mistakes when you get to these questions here. Anzu or Azu invested 1,000 at a rate of 5% simple interest. Simple interest, the formula you should know. They want the interest. So simple interest is that principal times the rate, which is always a percentage, times the time. So in this case, it's 1,000 times 5% times 3 years. Okay, you can put everything over 1. Again, don't make a mistake. You can divide by 100 by cancelling the zeros here. And you know 5 times 3 is 15, and 15 times 10 is nothing but 150. Okay, so you're going to get a mark for your method. So please, very important that you show your method. A shop has a sale of all items. The items are reduced by 20%. Lloyd bought a watch on sale, and the watch that she bought is 350. What is the original price of the watch? So we know that the original price of the watch should be more than this. So there's more than 2 ways you can do this. You can have a method where you say 100% plus 20%. Okay? Because the original price must be more than 350. This is a reduced price. So this is 120%. 120% is nothing but 120 upon 100, and if I multiply that by 350, okay, in order for me to find the original amount. So again, I can cancel here. I can cancel this one here. Okay, so what I'm left with is 35 times 12. So I just want to show you how you multiply 35 times 12. You can have 12 as 10 times 2. And you know that that is 350. And you have got 35 times 2 is 70. And now you simply add that together. So when you add that, you get 420. That was the original price. Okay. The other alternative would obviously for you to do 20% and then you find 70, but then you should not forget to add the 70 to that amount. And that is where normally the problem lies. Okay. So the original amount should be more. This 350 is the amount that you got on discount. Question 11, a little bit of algebra. So you are supposed to find the value of 2p plus q. So it's 2. And then you substitute in what the values are. They say p is nothing but 3. and q is nothing but 7. So this is 6 plus 7. So this answer therefore is 13. Okay, just make sure that you follow. So this one here becomes 2x. Okay, let's just get it right. Just correct that. Okay, so he doesn't want to play. It's playing a little bit of game with me, but I'm going to get it right for you now. So let's do this, and let's just delete that altogether. Let's delete that section. Okay. So I have got 2x equals to 1, but now the 1 should be plus 9 because, you know, that goes over. All right, so then 2x equals to 10, and in order for you to find the value of x on its own, you divide throughout by 2. So therefore, x is equal to 5, and surely you can have a look and you'll see that x equals to 5. Simplify. I hope you have done the work on indices. You know that when you're dividing and the bases are the same, you subtract the indices. Okay? Next one, you're supposed to multiply. So you've got this term multiply into each of that. So you're going to have x to the power 4 plus 3x cubed minus 2x squared. Okay, so it's x to the 4 plus 3x cubed minus 2x squared. Okay. The next one is says Chris thought of a number. We don't know what the number is, so we say let the number be x. He multiplies this number by 6, and then he take away 8. So this is the expression 6x minus 8. When you look at question 12, this is one thing I want you to remember, and then you need to know 1 hectare is nothing but 10,000 square meters. So when you're supposed to write this in hectares, you'll have to take 36,400 square meter, you divide it by 10,000 square meter. Okay, so there are many ways you can do this. All right, I can cancel, divide by 100, and then I have 1, 2, so the answer is 3.64 hectares. So you will not be able to do that if you did not know that this fact here. If you don't know this fact, you have a problem in solving that particular question. Then question 13a, so you have got a triangle here. You're supposed to calculate the area of triangle ABC. So this is an isosceles triangle, as you can see. All right, and basically to find the area of any triangle, you just use the formula a half times the base times the height. So the area of this triangle would be a half, the base would be 12 because it makes that, and the height is nothing but 4 centimeters. Okay, because we are looking for the area of the whole triangle. So half of 12 is 6, and 6 times 4, well, you get 24 square centimeters. Part B, you're supposed to find the volume of this cuboid. Again, you just simply multiply the dimensions together. And I hope that when you multiply, you know that it's easy sometimes to multiply so you can have the 10 later on. Okay, it's better to say 7 times 6, which is 42, all right, and then you multiply by 10, which you just go ahead and say, well, add 1 0 there. Right, so when you get to question 14, it says write down the order of rotational symmetry. So the center is somewhere here. So how many times can you turn this shape and it will still look exactly the same? Well, it will be 4 times. Right, when you are doing this question, they want you to find the value of angle x. Now let's ignore the 2y. We know that x would be 90 minus 48 because these two angles here they add up to 90, so they are complementary. Okay, so if you take away 90 minus 48, and you should not make a mistake here, right? So you get an answer of, is it 42? 42 degrees. What type of angle is angle X? Well, it's an angle that is less than 90, so it's an acute angle. Right. How do you find the value of y? Well, y, you calculate, they say, wait a minute, 2y should equal to 90 degrees as well. Okay, because that also is 90 degrees there, because the whole thing is on a straight line of 180. So y will be half of 90, which is nothing but 45 degrees. Right, then you are asked which pair of angles are complementary. Complementary are angles that add up to 90 degrees. Okay, they add up to 90 degrees. These ones here, they are supplementary. That means they add up to 180 degrees. When you get to question 17, they have a regular hexagon. So we are supposed to find angle y. So there are many ways you can find angle y. One of the ways that I want to show you is that if you go around any shape, right, and you count those exterior angles, right, so we take this angle here, take this angle here, and so on and so on and so on. There will be 6 of them. And all these 6 angles, okay, so I'm going to call them 6 y's. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 y's. All these angles, they should always add up to 360. So because you're going around that. So y will be 360 divided by 6. Okay? And that is nothing but 60 degrees. That's one way of finding that particular question. Question 18. Draw a line passing through R, which is parallel to PQ. Okay, so the line that we are looking for, the point, let's first determine how far is this small point. They say the line must pass to R. How far is R from Q? Well, I'm going to look at first horizontal, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 upwards. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 upwards. Okay, so 1, 2, so it's going to be somewhere down here. I'm going to do that again. So how far is R, for example, from Q? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 upwards. All right, so that point that I'm looking for, how far would it be? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1, 2. Of course, if you have to draw a line through that, and the distances between them should be the same, you just need one more point. So I'm finding a point that is the same distance from P, so I go in this direction 4, same like I went in this direction 4, and then I'm going to find then the opposite end, 2 here, so then it's 2 down there. Okay, so whatever method you are using in order for you to find that particular line, that is what you do, right? So you can go then ahead and grab your ruler, and if you do grab your ruler, and you can draw a point right through that. So let's just have that. Okay, that is just get my ruler here. So using my ruler. So anyway, it's going to be somewhere like that. So that's where that particular point is. Okay, and that's what you were supposed to do with that question. So importantly is that you need to understand that the distance between these 2 points are exactly the same. Okay, right. So well, looks like my straight line is playing a movie with me. So something like that. Don't waste too much time on that question, okay? It's just, remember, a 1-mark question. The distances between the two should be exactly the same. Parallel lines. Right, then you have got question 19. You're supposed to identify the type of transformation. Well, so that is the center. And you see that this point, its corresponding point will be there. this point, its corresponding point is here. You realize that it's a straight line, so it's 180 degrees. So this is a rotation of 180 degrees. Then when you come here, they are saying draw the line y equals to -2. Well, the line y equals to -2, it means that line will cut the y-axis at -2, right? So here we go again. You take your ruler, and obviously you are going to draw that line here. So that is the line that we are looking for. But now again, remember, I have to draw my line. Let's just make it a little bit thicker. It's going to be a line y equals to, okay, just get it nice in there. So plus at -2, slightly like that. Okay, you get the idea. Okay, so that's my line here. Let's say there's where my -2 is, and 1 mark for doing that. So this is y equals to -2. Right, then we get to question 21. Stephen has a telephone. The graph shows his monthly charges for calls up to 250 minutes. All right, so let me just make this a little bit smaller so that we can see what is the basic charge. So the basic charge, before you do any of these particular questions, the objective is always to find out what does one little small square represent. Okay, so you have got 100, and let's suppose it's 10. So if you have 100 here, then 100 divided by 10, so each little block represents 10 Namibian dollars. Okay, and then you have 50 divided by 10, because you also have 10 here, and each little block here represents 5 minutes. So let's see where our this particular value is. Okay, so I suggest 1, 2, 3. Maybe I should make it a bit bigger because it's a little bit difficult to see. Right, so that's 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. All right, so this is 150 Namibian dollar. So that's the basic charge without him doing anything. Okay, let's just make that more and more smaller. So the basic charge is 150 Namibian dollar. Then they say, how much does he pay for 200-minute calls? Okay, for 200 minutes call. So you go to 200 and you go all the way up to here. So we want to know how much does he pay. Well, so this is 550. Okay, so for 200 he pays 550. But now, just you reading from the graph. Okay, so 200, you get from 200, you go all the way, and then you read down. Okay, so you don't make the mistake, you have to give the wrong value. Okay, right, I guess maybe there's a third part to it. Nah, that one is done. So we get to question 22, and some little bit of probability. A bag contains a total of 10 colored balls, which are 7 of blue. So 7, let's use blue, 7 out of the 10 are blue. Dave takes 1 out of the bag at random. What is the probability that it's blue? Well, you can have it as 7 over 10. That's it. There's nothing there. No need to write it as a percentage. Okay. Then part 23. So let me just make it a bit smaller so you can fit my screen here. I'm gonna blow it up again. The number of learners. Yeah, it shows the type of movies liked by the learners in the class. So you have got drama, you have got romance, action, and comedy. Calculate the total number of learners in the class. Well, in order for us to find the total numbers in the class, let me just get that here. All right, so I know that there are 2 learners here. This is 5 learners, okay, halfway between and this is also 3, okay, halfway between 2 and 4, and this is 8. So the number of learners is going to be that 10 plus 8, so it's going to be 18 learners, okay, 18 learners. All right, so you can go ahead and make sure that you get the correct information as far as that is concerned. What type of movies is mostly like? Well, it's the one where the graph is the highest, and that is obviously romance. Oh, our kids, they love romance. So romance is what you write. They don't ask how many, okay, learners like romance. Right, so that's the end of this particular question paper. It's 45 minutes long, no, 45 marks. That's what you are getting for this paper. It's a non-calculated paper. All right, get a copy. I'll post it on my YouTube or on my Google Classroom, and then you can follow and print it out and see how I worked out the solutions to this particular question paper.